Dawn Reid of Reid Ready Life Coaching, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about being a parent of someone on the autism spectrum. And why is this important? Because one of the things that really has helped my relationship with my son, who's on the spectrum, what has helped him move forward in his own life is coaching. And even though I'm coaching as a parent, it is interesting that the tools that I've learned as a coach has been very instrumental in helping him build his own communication skills, to self-advocate, to build confidence. And so just to kind of give you a little background, we discovered that our middle son, Isaiah, was an individual on the autism spectrum when he was maybe about 8 years old. But when he was born, we did know some really interesting telltales, if you will, or signs. One of the things that we noticed in certain environments, he cried, like really, like he was in pain crying. Like if there was weird lighting, too much lighting, if he was being overstimulated, if there were loud noises, all of these things really, really got to him. And we really didn't understand why. We thought he may be colicky, but we noticed that it just didn't change over the years. We also noticed that he had a very difficult time articulating how he felt. He also liked playing by himself. He really didn't like being bothered with other kids. He really didn't. Or if he did, it was one person that he would always stick to, and that would be his buddy. And we just noticed like little things that he had a repeated behavior. He did this a lot when he was trying to think, or he did this a lot when he was trying to think. We noticed that. Some people on the spectrum, they might have a food that they eat all the time and they don't change it. That was one thing that my son did not have. Like he ate everything. He wasn't particular. He was like, if you put it in front of me, I'm going to eat it. That was like his mindset. Other than that, I did notice that it was mainly sounds and things visual and tactile were the things that he processed in a unique way. But the thing that we did notice about him, that he was highly intelligent, very, very logical, very methodical. He saw the world in a very interesting way, very philosophical. And he still carries that to this day. And so one of the things that we learned with him is being very, very clear, in what we needed him or wanted him to do. We also helped him and partnered with his school. Very important to partner with your child's school in creating an independent education plan, or IEP, and also making sure that he had supports in place, whether it was more time for a test, more time to read, more time to do homework, a quiet space to do his testing, things like that. Just that type of understanding was really what he needed so that he can function with his peers. We also noticed that we had to chunk things. Too much information was like a disaster. It would send him in a frenzy. It would induce anxiety. So we found that if you give small tasks at a time, he was much more productive. He was much more confident. If you give him too much stuff at one time, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm shutting down, don't want to be bothered. So knowing how to navigate your child's personality, their preferences, how they respond to stimuli will all help you with getting them to understand their own needs and what they want and how to self-advocate. And coaching, what do you want to do? What does it look like to you? How would you describe that? What words? And it's really interesting. I used to call this Zay Speak because I had to learn his language. And by asking him curious questions and using certain coaching tools, it helped him figure out and navigate what he wanted, his own life, how he thought. It helped him self-reflect. I asked self-reflecting questions like, what do you feel? What do you think? Very important things. And so I hope that's informational and beneficial to you. I love my relationship with my son. I think he's an intelligent, interesting, wonderful young man, and he's grown to do some great things in his life. He's a college student, he drives, he works, he is very much appreciated and respected by his peers. Like, he's a really great individual. But you will have to work with your child, your young adult, and really understanding them and how they see the world, how they process information. And once you do, you will unlock the mysteries of your child, your young adult, your spouse who may be on the spectrum, especially if they're high functioning and can communicate with you. You're gonna find and discover some amazing things. And like I at first, it was a very challenging journey, but once we had our rhythm, once we understood what he needed, what he wanted, how he saw the world, it was a very eye-opening experience and a new path to explore with him, because he's really an amazing and interesting individual. So coaching definitely helps with those on the spectrum, especially high functioning individuals, and it is definitely a tool I recommend using, whether you are a coach who specializes in or working with people on the autism spectrum, or whether you're a parent, whether you're a spouse, whether you're a sibling. It's stepping back and really just working with them and understanding how they see the world, and using coaching questions and coaching tools can really, really provide beneficial outcomes for you and for them. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Coach Dawn of Reid Life Coaching. Go out there and create awesome sauce for yourself and for others.